Good morning and welcome to day 7 of the Great Norfolk Broads Adventure 11. The last full day of the adventure. And yes, I am outside doing this. Woohoo! It's a cold morning, by the way, hence the hood's up. But yeah, what a peaceful, relaxing mooring Sutton Staithe is. Honestly, it's so quiet. I mean, there's a main road just over there, you know, but at night, very, very quiet. Never hear a soul. So calm in the shelter of the trees, you know. And even this morning, the time's it's about 10 past 9. And there's a little traffic on the road, but not that much at all. So yeah, it really is a lovely, lovely mooring, you know. And I don't know if you can see, all the way up there, you know, that's all the moorings up there. And yeah, isn't that wonderful, you know? River is it's so calm, you know. It's like glass, you know. I'm seeing the sun rising just in front of me, and yeah, it's lovely. It really is absolutely lovely. So yeah, I've been up for a couple of hours. I've had some coffee, you know. I've had the heaters on, take the chill off. There is no wind in the shelter of the trees, but it's very cold. It is very, very cold this morning. So got the heaters on just to warm up the boat. The weather is going to get a bit horrible later on today, unfortunately. The wind's going to pick up, the rain's going to start coming down, so it's just going to be, you know. But we know what we're mostly needing to do, and I'm just having another coffee, and then we're going to get the day started. I need to go back to the marina today, and I'm going to give the boat a wee wipe down. The one bad thing about Sutton Staithe at this time of the year, especially with all the weather, is it's the grass down by the quay headings, you know, is very mucky, very mucky. So it's a bit horrible, you know. But yeah, we're going to go back to the marina, get things sort of sorted out and organised, and yeah, we'll probably load up the car with most of the stuff, and get the car all ready, get the boat sort of ready. What we're going to do after that, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to spend the night in the marina, or if we'll go maybe up to the free moorings by the Swan or somewhere else, and eat out tonight and have dinner. Surprisingly, the dinner last night that I made was actually quite tasty. Nothing special, nothing fancy, you know, but it was quite nice, you know, nonetheless, you know. And yeah, it made a refreshing wee change. But yeah, it was good evening, you know. I mean, we went to Sutton, had a very nice pint, a hot chocolate, came back to the boat, had dinner, nipped back out for another pint and hot chocolate, you know. And yeah, then it was back to the boat a wee bit later than planned. Watched a bit of TV, you know, and then into bed. We were in bed, well, I was in bed quite early last night. I just got knackered, you know. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a long day. Nice, good cruise this morning though. Not sure how long it'll take us to get down to Horning, but we'll take our time. We're in no rush, and we'll just see how the day goes today. So yeah, that's it. It's one of those sort of bittersweet, sad days, as always. I enjoy my last full day because it's the last full day on the rivers, but yeah, it's obviously all about going back to the marina and getting the boat ready for leaving tomorrow. it kind of depends what we do later on. Depends if I'm going to be back tomorrow or not. So I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work out. I think it'll all depend on if we do go out. If we stay in the marina, this will be the final day, end of. But if we go back out, there might be a little something extra tomorrow morning, just as we take the boat to basically pump out, top up, and go back in. So we shall wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens with that, you know. So yeah, that's it. It's difficult to get myself organised this morning, but organised I must, I suppose. Get on back down the rivers, and this week has gone by way too quickly. You know, at the start of it, it felt like we'd been there for weeks on end, and we were having a great time. And now, near the end of it, it feels like I just got here a couple of days ago, and I'm not ready to go home. Always the same. So yeah, that is essentially our plans for the day. At least at the first part of the day. So yeah, so I'm going to go away, get myself organised, get myself sort of woke up, get the day started, and as always, I'll keep you updated on the events of the day. So until later, I'll speak to you soon. So until then, bye for now. Cheers. Okay, just a little wee update for you. That is us on the way. I had a wee cup of coffee, I threw some clothes on, I gave the boat a very basic quick mop down. It was manky, absolutely bogging from that mucky stain, and there's still quite a wee bit of mopping still to do because yeah, the boat's pretty bloody dirty now. But yeah, that is on the way. It was a lovely mooring. Had a wee bit sort of, you know, we had a wee bit, a few fishermen out on the dike there, so I didn't quite realise how far their lines were stretched out, so when they clocked me, I was like, ugh! You know, and I was like, oh, you know, slow down, you know, because I don't want to run over the fishing lines and break the fishing lines. Some of that stuff can be quite expensive, by the way. So yeah, I was trying to be nice, you know, it's nice to be nice, you know, so I was trying to be nice, and they were grateful for it. For me giving them time to reel their lines in a wee bit so I could get on past them. And we're on our way, and you know, the sun is it's obviously behind clouds, but the sun's up. The wind is not too bad at all. Once you came out the shelter of the Stade, it's a very light breeze, so actually it's a wee bit chilly, but it actually feels nice enough to go sit up top today. It actually does. I won't sit up top because I'm all set up down here. You know, I've got camera there, I've got a camera there. I don't know if you can just see. There's a wee camera just out the side there. So yeah, I'm not going to mess around with all that stuff and trying to rejig it and go up there. So I'll probably do my upstairs on another trip. But yeah, we're on the way, and the time is currently 5 to 10. So we left about 10 to 10. And yeah, we are heading straight for Horning, straight for the marina. I am estimating it'll take us about 3 hours, you know. It might not, you know. But I'm estimating about 3 hours, give or take, to get to Horning. That's a good wee estimate, I think. So we'll get to the marina, and we'll then get the boat sorted a wee bit, tidied up, get all the non-essential stuff packed away. We'll maybe leave one or two films out, maybe a couple of beers, depending whether we stay in the marina or decide to leave the marina. Will kind of depend on what I do with the cameras, because if we decide to stay in the marina, that will be the end of the adventure. You know, we're not going anywhere else, you know, there's nothing else to see. That's the end of the adventure. If we go elsewhere, I will probably take you with me, you know. It won't be worthy of a standalone day, I don't think, but we'll wait and see what happens. And once again, it all depends on the weather. I had another wee look at the app, and for all intents and purposes, the temperature's going up, the wind's picking up to quite a stiff wind, and the rain's coming on, and pretty much it's going to be on round about lunchtime, and it will be that on until I leave. So yeah, it's not looking much of an afternoon at all. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, like I say, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's one of those bittersweet days. It's been, you know, actually it's been a bit of an adventure, you know, in itself, you know. It's been dull, it's been wet, it's been very windy. There's been some days it's just been like, oh my god, full on, you know. At the start of it, I was ballsing up every single mooring, something rotten, you know. I mean, I was feeling like some sort of amateur who, you know, first time on a boat and doesn't know anything, you know. My moorings were that bad. Maybe it was just the wind, maybe I'm still needing to get used to the size of this vessel. and the way she reacts in stiff wind. I don't think I've actually ever had to try and handle her in stiff wind before. And there were some times when I did a stern-on mooring, you know, the wind would catch the bow and oh man, she was all over the place. There was also sometimes I was very grateful for having a guest, Rachel, on board. Not because of the coffee, which I'm sure she's making just now. She's not saying anything. She's blanking me. Not because I could get a coffee on the go, but in some of the days when the wind was particularly stiff and strong, trying to moor up thunder through those mooring rings that you get. You know, I get why you put a mooring ring in. You know, it's probably simpler and easier than a post. But honestly, you know, if you don't have crew and you've got adverse weather, they are a pain in the neck to tie up to, you know, because on a post you just it doesn't matter how untidy or how loose, you know, the rope is. You come into the side, you get up, you get the boat roughly in where you want it, and then you just basically drop one rope, you know, 1 to 1, and then take the other rope and just roughly, untidily, and very messily tie, just a basic quick sort of, I think it's called a half hitch, on the post, you know, and bang, you know, that end of the boat is secure. It's not going to go anywhere. And even if it drifts out, you know, as long as it doesn't drift too far out, you know, or moves forward or backwards too much, you know, that end of the boat is secure. And then you can quickly run up to the other end, you know, grab the rope that you've dropped, you know, before the boat movement takes that rope away and the boat away, and then you can just quickly sort of pull the boat in, sort of get it roughly where you want, quick sort of, if it is called a half hitch, I honestly don't know, it's that sort of, you pull it in, you twist it over, big, you know, done. And then that end of the boat is secure. So now both ends of the boat are secure, and the boat's not going to go anywhere now, you know. And then all it is a matter of loosening a rope, tidying up one end, you know, figuring it out, and then tying it off, and then going to the other, you know, and tidying up that end, and, you know, and it's yeah, it's you can sort of take your time back and forth and rejig and what have you, you know. But every time you adjust something, you know, you're basically untying one end of the boat and sorting it out and then retying it. So it's very easy. Tying up to a post is a doddle, you know, especially if you're solo and especially in difficult conditions, you know. Tying up to a ring, you know, it's just like, because you got to jump off and you're there with both ropes in the hand, you know. Now I've not even tried a rond anchor yet. I've never tried a rond anchor, and I'm not looking forward to trying a rond anchor. That presents a whole new set of problems. But when you tie up to a ring, you've got both ends of the rope, you know, and if it's calm and still, no problems, you know. You can do something similar, you know, get the boat where you want it, drop one end, and then run to usually the back end, you know. I try to do the back end first, and it's just like feed the rope through the ring and then tie it onto the boat cleat, and then you've got to run to the other end of the boat, grab the rope before the boat runs away, and do the same thing, you know. But it's got to go through the ring. You've got to pull all the rope on to the through the ring, then you've got to get on the boat, you know, up to the forward cleat, you know, and then tie it on there. And it's, you know, in difficult windy conditions, you know, you just don't have time sometimes, you know. It's just, it can be a pain, it can be a nightmare, you know, to just fully secure them and get the boat sorted, you know. So yeah, I was rather grateful for having a guest on board on this trip, so that I could get off the boat, grab both boats, pull the boat in. Rachel would step off, she would grab the bow rope and just give it enough slack so the bow can do a wee bit of moving about, and I would tidy up the stern at my leisure, and then it's just a case of just, you know, going up to the bow, and she would pass me the rope, you know, and I'd be on board, you know, and yeah. So yeah, it's I was grateful for having a guest on board this week in some of that wind, because it would have caused me, especially outside the bridge inn. I had choices at Thurn, but outside the bridge inn, you know, if I'm watching the bridge, it would have it caused problems on Saturday, definitely. The second visit wasn't so bad, but definitely Saturday was yeah, that was causing problems, you know. Anyway, I'm babbling. That is just me now on the, well, I'm always on the River Anne, but I'm just approaching that fork where I can go up to Wayford and Dillon. I've just passed the fork for Stalham back there, and I'm just approaching the fork for Dillon and Wayford, at which point I will turn left and continue down the River Ant, down to Barton Broad. Yeah, like I say, it's a chilly day, but for all intents and purposes, at the moment, you know, it's lovely and calm, you know. So it is actually a nice day indeed, you know, and it's going to be quite an peaceful cruise, tranquil cruise this morning, I think, you know. And we're just going to take our time, you know, we're not going to be in a rush, you know. We know basically what we're doing and where we're going, and it is what it is. So that's what we're going to do. So I will go for now. I will keep you updated on the events of the day, and hopefully it will be uneventful, and we will... The weather front that's moving in, we will beat it, and maybe, just maybe, it'll miss us, you know. But we'll wait and see how that all goes later. So yeah. In the meantime, I've babbled long enough, so I'll go for now. I'll keep you updated on the events of the day. So until later, I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now. Cheers!
Look at your watch with a perilous gaze, a troubled stare. And when I ask, where do we go, say you don't care. Call on me when the day is dark. Never too late, you're underrated. Whatever your sins, whatever your loss, your cup is filled. There is no way to turn back the clock. No one will. Call on me. There's fire in your heart, lying in wait just like a lion. Maybe we should go back to the earth and live off the sun. Maybe we should crawl in the dirt before we run. 1,000 years of art and song, love and war. Tell me why you joined the club. What do you fight for? All hands on deck, suicide race. Prop up the good and smother the hate. wall is high, the sun is low, the four winds roar. Wide-eyed children fill the streets to take back the store. There is no truth that lies can make, no willing soldiers in the wake. Maybe we should go back to the earth and live off the sun. Maybe we should crawl in the dirt before we run. Is fragile, the flight of a sparrow will end, and the same goes for us, born from the same rain and dust. Maybe we should go back to the earth, and life will grow, and the river soon to return, and a plan unfold. Look at your watch with a perilous gaze, a troubled stare. And when I ask, where do we go, you say you don't care. Call on me when the day is dark, never too late, you're underrated.
Okay, just a little wee update for you. We've just crossed Barton Broad, and oh my goodness, what a few minutes a difference makes. I can't actually recall if I was saying, in fact I'm pretty sure I'd gone, but we came down the river and there and we were just approaching Barton Broad, and we turned a corner, and in the middle of the river, floating free, is this huge, massive sort of man-made raft, you know. I did recall passing it yesterday on the way up, but it was like tied up and what have you. Excuse me. Oh, I'm just a cup of coffee. So yeah, we passed this sort of a man-made raft, and it was just it's obviously broken free of its mooring somehow, and it was drifting free in the middle of the river. And I was just like, alright, okay, here's the interesting scenario. How the hell am I going to get by that? Thankfully, I managed to pass it on the starboard side. That's right to non-nautical people. And got past it and headed on down the river. It was probably about 5 minutes away from Barton Broad. There was another private boat that just came off Barton Broad. I sort of waved him down and shouted and gave him a heads up about the hazard on the river, just round the bend. And he was like, oh, right. Didn't quite understand what I was trying to say, but he will find out, you know. But he knows that there's something in the river. I approached Barton Broad, and I thought, you know, actually I've got that A-Way app I was talking about yesterday, and there's some emergency numbers, you know, or help, you know, if you need help. I thought, I wonder if the Broads Authority number is on it. I'm sure the Broads Authority number is on it. So I looked at the app, looked at the help, and right enough, the Broads Authority control number is on it. So I don't know if you are more sort of knowledgeable, please let me know if that was the correct number or not. But I phoned that number, got through to an answering machine, and I just basically said, look, I don't know if this is a number I should be calling, but I've just left, I'm just travelling down the River Ant from Starland, and just before you get to Barton Broad there's a man-made raft, broken 3 of its moorings and drifting in the middle of the river. Just thought you might want to know about the navigation hazard, you know. I said thank you very much. So it was a very quick call, you know, obviously just a message. So yeah, I informed the Broads Authority Control about that, and I'm sure they'll get the message. They'll probably wonder, what the hell, this is not our department, and bounce it all over the place or just ignore it. But I've called somebody. I've called somebody about it, because yeah, if that could have the potential to be a serious hazard. I mean, we're not just talking a couple bits of wood here. We're talking about a full-on size raft with drums and seats and what have you. You know, so yeah, it was a right proper hazard. So I've phoned the Broads Authority Control. This week I have seen the Broads Rangers out and about on the River Ant. What's the betting? Today I see nobody on the River Ant, which would be but typical, but if I do see one, I will give them a wee flag down. So yeah, and then we were crossing Barton Broad, and I was saying to Rach, oh, I'm sorry about the canopy, I'll just get to the other side of Barton Broad and I'll stick the cameras on for Ørsted, which funnily enough I've not done. So, and then I'll close the canopy. Thank God I didn't close the canopy, you know, because we were going down Barton Broad and we just had a and we looked, and honestly, I mean, right there, okay, that level, okay, just on the fringes of Barton Broad, a Eurofighter, you know, flew right on by, you know. Obviously, I mean, we'd heard some jets up at Sutton, you know, and I'd said to Rachel, well, that'll be they sound like military jets, so they'll probably be doing whatever, you know, practicing stuff or whatever. And yeah, flew on right by, straight dead line level, you know. Obviously too fast to get a photo of them, and obviously I was on Barton Broad, so I didn't actually have the camera switched on, which was really annoying. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, and we were hoping we'd see another one, because sometimes they travel in 2s or 3s, but no, it was just the one. So yeah, but that was pretty cool, pretty cool. So yeah, it has been a bit of an eventful wee trip down the River Ant so far. But we are now through Ørsted, continuing down the River Ant, and yeah, we'll wait and see if anything else happens further down the river. So I'll keep you updated though. So until later, I'll speak to you soon. So until then, bye for now. Cheers! Okay, just a little wee update for you. I am still going down the river, and so far there has been no other sort of surprises or sort of wonderful oh my god or terrible oh my god moments. But I'm going down the river and I'm just having wee sort of wee chin wags with Rachel, you know, and it just suddenly dawned on me, you know, as I'm going down the river, you know, I've pulled the canopy slightly forward, and I was thinking, I was going to turn to Rachel and said, you know, one of the best things that I think I've just this second realised why I think I really love winter cruising on the Broads so much, you know, and I stopped, you know, and I thought, you know, actually, that's a very good point, you know. I'm going to say that next time I turn on the vlog. In fact, actually, I'm going to turn on the camera and I'm going to vlog this right now. Okay, so so I stopped mid-conversation with Rachel, okay, turned on the camera, and she's now going to hear for the first time what I was going to say, you know, and I'm going to say it to you guys as well, you know. Now, if you come to the Broads a lot, you know, and especially if you come, maybe not so much during summer, okay, but definitely if you come more sort of late summer, early autumn, okay, you will totally get what I'm about to say, okay. Cruising down the river, and it was just like, you know, one of the reasons I've just realised why I love winter cruising, you know, it's peaceful, it's quiet, you know, I mean, honestly, it's very quiet. You hardly see anybody at all on the rivers, you know. You've essentially got all the rivers to yourself. You can have your pick of moorings, you know, and you never any hassle getting in anywhere, you know. But because it's a bit on the chilly side, okay, the one thing you don't have at all is wasps. Wasps. That is the bane of anybody who comes to the Broads, you know, especially late summer into early autumn, you know, when they're sort of starting to like sort of die out, you know, a wee bit, you know, if the temperature starts turning a wee bit, you know, and they start getting aggressive and everything like that. But yeah, wasps. This time of year, there's no wasps, you know. So seriously, okay, it's a bit chilly, you know, but you can have the canopies open, and you know, it's not a problem, and you know, you just enjoy the cruise, you know, and you're not going to be sitting there and then all of a sudden you're going to be just swatting around looking like a madman. I mean, I think it was, what was it? Was it, I think it was actually Royal Oak, the trip on Royal Oak, and I was down in the Southern Broads, and I was heading up towards Brundall, you know, and oh my god, you know, I don't know what the hell was going on. I don't know if it was just that particular area. I don't know if I was passing through a particularly dense section where there was a lot of nests or something like that, you know. But at one point, I kid you not, I've got 8 of the buggers, you know, flying around inside, up here, you know, by the window, you know. And it's just like, you know, I mean, it's, what do you want? I mean, I'm by myself, you know. I'm cruising down the river, you know. River, yeah, so it's 6 miles an hour. You know, I've got the canopy open, you know, because it's a lovely day, you know. But I'm having to share this boat with 8 angry wasps who are trying to get out, who flew into the boat, trying to get out, and they're buzzing around, stinging the hell out of the windows and everything like that, you know. And it's just like, I don't want to be sharing a boat with 8 angry wasps buzzing about, stinging the hell out of the window, you know, and just trying to get them out the boat and swatting them and getting them, get away, you know. And it's just like, oh, you know. It was horrendous, absolutely horrendous, you know. And yeah, I mean, I didn't have too much of a wasp issue in July, thankfully. I think maybe it was too hot in July for them to be buzzing around doing their thing, you know. But oh, I think that's one reason why I really love coming down in the winter, you know. Never mind the peace, never mind the tranquility, never mind the sheer quietness of the rivers and free availability of any and every mooring, you know. You don't get any wasps at all. Zero, nada, zilch, you know. They're all done and dusted, that's it. So yeah, that is, I mean, unfortunately you don't get any dragonflies as well then, you know. But, you know, wasps, man, I hate wasps, you know. And I'm okay with wasps outside, you know. I'm just like, oh, go away, because they don't really want to sting you, you know. And they're probably just attracted to like the red or something like that, something you're wearing, you know. And that's why they'll buzz around you for a wee bit. But as soon as they realise that you're not actually a flower or something like that, as long as you don't go sort of attacking the crap out of them, they'll buzz around for a wee bit and then they'll go away, you know. Unless of course, you know, they're sort of like in the autumn when the temperature changes and all sort of down, then they get aggressive and then they get nasty, and then they'll just sting you just for the sake of stinging you, you know, because they're in a bad mood, you know. So yeah, I really don't like wasps. But yeah, what I was saying is outside, you know, see on the key headings or something like that, or if I'm out for a walk, you know, they'll buzz around and be like, go away, you know, go away, you know, and they'll buzz around and then they'll go away, you know. But in a confined space, you know, I absolutely freak, and I think it's because, you know, because I'm a professional driver, you know, the amount of times, you know, I've been driving down the road and, you know, summer's day, windows open, wasp flies in the cab, and it's a confined cab, you know, so as a general rule they fly in, they can't fly out, and it's just you, the wasp, and it's, yeah, really don't like that. And it wouldn't be the first time I've stopped my rather large vehicle in the middle of the road and just abandoned it, you know. Get myself a newspaper and roll it up and say, right, now I'm on, now you're gonna get it, you know. You know, then it's a battle to the death, you know. Then I can get back in the cab, because so far I've won, so far, you know. They're probably all ganging up on me, just ready to just sort of pounce. Here's that bugger that keeps declaring war on us, now we're gonna get the whole bloody colony, you know. Yeah, war on the wasps. Yeah, really don't like wasps at all. But yeah, it just dawned on me, you know, winter, you know, there's no wasps at all, you know. I can have the canopy open freely and it's all lovely. Anyway, I'm just at How Hill. I'm at How Hill, as we're just passing How Hill, and we're continuing down the River Ant, and yeah, it's still turning into a lovely wee cruise. The breeze is picking up a wee bit, the flag's starting to flutter, but it's still a lovely day, you know. And despite the fact that there's supposed to be a weather front moving, so far it doesn't look like there's a weather front moving, although it's still early yet, so give it time. In the meantime, I am going to continue down the river. If I'm just passing How Hill, it won't be very long until I'm down at Ludden Bridge. We should get under Ludden Bridge, no problems whatsoever. So yeah, and then after that it's down onto the River Bure, you know. So as always though, I'll keep you updated, and yeah, until later, I'll speak to you soon. So until then, bye for now. Cheers! just a little wee update for you. I have just gone under Ludden Bridge, and oh my goodness, you know, it's just like somebody just flicked a switch, you know. I have no idea where the hell this weather, well, I mean, I knew the weather front was coming, but it was just like, you know, 1 minute it was, you know, the sun was, you know how you get that sort of hazy sun through the high clouds, you know, the sun was up in the sky, and it was quite nice, and it was quite a lovely wee sort of cruise down the River Ant. And then we passed the Neves drainage mill, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you know, the wind picks up just like that, and boom, down with the rain, you know, and the wind's really driving that rain, you know. I just popped my head up there through the canopy, just for going under Ludden Bridge, because just wanted to make sure that I didn't hit those concrete walkways, you know, on either side of them, and you just get a better visibility of the, you know, all surrounding when you stand up. I like this design of boat because I can do that, you know. And yeah, I mean, it was, the wind was absolutely blasting my face, and oh, we got a wee fisherman here. We'll just try and stay clear of his rod, you know, without getting too close to the boats on the other side of the bank. And yeah, I mean, I was just like total blasting of rain in my face. I was like, oh my goodness, you know. So yeah, out of nowhere. Oh, the dogs. I was wondering what the noise was. Out of nowhere, this weather front has hit us quite a lot. I was just like, oh my goodness. So yeah, we are currently under Ludden Bridge. We're just approaching the foot of the river, and we will be turning right onto the River Bure. And yeah,
what are you up to?
So yeah, all's going good though, all's going good. But Rachel's just had to take a phone call, so no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go just now. I will keep you updated on the events of the day, and I'll speak to you soon. So until then, bye for now. Cheers! Okay, just a little wee update for you. That is me. I've come down the River Ant, I've turned right onto the River Bure, and I'm just heading on up. I'm just approaching Ranworth Dam at the moment that I can see. So we're not very far away from the marina at all. Maybe about half an hour, maybe about half an hour, give or take, you know. So not very far away from the marina at all. And yeah, I mean, it's just a shame that the wind and the rain has actually just sort of started and come down, because it was, when we left Sutton Staithe this morning, it was lovely. It really was, you know. And I did, like I said, contemplate actually sitting up top. You know, it was that nice, you know. Just put the wee hat on, a wee pair of gloves or something like that, and just sit up there and just enjoy the cruise from a high vantage point. And I almost did that, you know. And then, of course, the rain's all come down and the wind's picked up, and just like, oh, it's just such a shame, and I was just having a wee chat with Rachel there, just as I came onto the River Bure. It's just that, you know, obviously I'm inviting her on this week to say thank you for looking after the cats for me for so long, saving me so much money in Cattery, and allowing me to do everything that I have done over the last 6 years, you know. And I think the theory of bringing her down in February was correct. I think for so many reasons, this is the time to visit the Broads, you know. But it's just such a shame that the weather in February just has refused to clear up properly, you know. We got one or two really nice days when the sun was out briefly, and some nice sort of calm days, you know, and we've had quite a few dry days as well, you know. But it's just been one of those months, I think, where, you know, you'd get one storm and I think, well, okay, after a storm you get a wee bit clear weather, and then another storm rolls over, and I think it was Storm Dennis, was it Storm Dennis? The weekend before I was coming away, and I thought, well, that'd be brilliant, you know. The Storm Dennis hits this weekend, we should have lovely clear weather next weekend and into this week, you know. And unfortunately I wakes up this morning and find out there's supposed to be another storm coming in this weekend, which is probably all this weather that we've been getting, you know. So it's just been such a shame, you know, that we've just had one weather front after another weather front after another weather front hitting the Broads, and it's not been just quite as nice as it could have been, you know, or perhaps should have been. So yeah, bit of a shame that, actually, you know. But I mean, like I say, you know, you can come down in July, August, June, you know, October, you know, and yeah, it could be the exact same, just a little bit warmer. So yeah, it's just a wee bit of a shame indeed, you know. Anyway, that's just a small wee update for you there. I'm going to go away just now. I'm going to switch on the cameras, and unfortunately I am going to sit up top, because approaching into the marina, the best way to get into that mooring space is from up top. So it's going to be cold and it's going to be wet, you know, and Rachel will be sitting down here turning and thinking, you know, thinking to herself, you know, that serves you right, you damn bringing me down when it's so cold and wet and miserable, you know. Go up there and freeze, you know. But yeah, not at all. So yeah, we are approaching the marina. Like I say, I have no idea what's going to be happening for the rest of the day, but I will keep you updated, I will keep you informed, and yeah, we'll just wait and see how the rest of the day goes. So I'll keep you updated. We're not very far away from the marina now, so yeah, until later, I'll speak to you soon. So until then, bye for now. Cheers! Okay, just a very quick wee update, right, and it is going to be a very quick update, so I'm going to have to go up top just momentarily. I'm just maybe one bend away from Cockshoot Dyke, and yeah, it's just basically saying, I might have mentioned this a while ago, but I'm trying out, obviously I've got a new camera, a new microphone, okay, and I'm trying out a new position for it. Now, if the sound has been dreadful because of the position, you know, it might pick up a lot of resonating noise and everything like that, I will figure that out on the editing. You know, I might not be able to fix it, but I'll figure it out and make a point of moving it back to its original place on future adventures. It works quite well where it is, but whether the sound, you know, it might be picking up too much resonant because the microphone's actually quite close to the ceiling, you know, so I apologise about that. I'm also going to say is that to begin with, when I left Sutton, the wind was very calm and it was very dry, and I had the side camera, the old vlog camera, out the side. Once the rain came down, I had to pull that in, which is just a little bit annoying, you know. I do have the two cameras on the top though, they have been running, but because of the weather, the footage is a bit rubbish. I won't lie, there's a lot lots of raindrops and lots of like water on the lens, and yeah, so not the best footage, I don't think, this week, but you know, it is what it is. It's part of Broads boating, you know, and you just have to sort of well, accept it for what it is, you know. Sometimes the cameras pick up the footage much better than the naked eye, you know, and you see some of these amazing skies so easily on the camera, and then you get other days like this where it's just like it just doesn't work at all, does it? So yeah, if this has not been looking and sounding the best adventure, I will experiment, you know, when it comes to editing. You know, I will learn a few things and we will sort of stuff out, you know. I mean, there's one reason what I said about the 2 mini adventures at the end of last year, you know. One was experimenting with 2 cameras, you know, and getting used to the boat. The other one was experimenting with 2 cameras and new editing, you know, software. I'm not entirely sure what I'll do with this trip, if I will actually bite the bullet and buy said professional editing software. I really liked it. There was so much I could do, there was so much to learn that I couldn't learn in the trial period, you know, of the software. And yeah, I mean, I would really love to buy it, but it's not cheap and it's quite expensive. So yeah, I might just fall back onto the free software that I use, just what I usually use, and figure that out. And I don't know, you know, it's all a learning experience, it's all a learning curve, and you just try things and, you know, just see how things sort of go. Yeah, yes, I have gloves on. I'm prepared for going up there, you know. So yeah, it's I just wanted to pop back and say I apologise if the look and the sound of some of this adventure isn't the best, but I'm making inroads, if you like, you know. I mean, like I say, the new camera and a new microphone. Because of the weather, I've not really had the microphone out and about outside, so not really sort of tested the wind protection on the microphone, but we'll see, you know. And if this adventure turns out to be so completely and utterly rubbish and you can't hear a word I'm saying, I'll learn from that and I will try and figure something out for the next one, you know. So yeah, that's just the wee update now. I'm just approaching, I'm just turning the corner. I should be having Cockshoot Dyke in my sights momentarily, which means that we are very close to the marina indeed. And there's the 4 mile an hour signs, and that would indicates Cockshoot Dyke. So I'm going to go for now. I'm going to go up, get wet, get very cold, and yeah, I will keep you informed as to the events of the day. So until later, I'll speak to you soon. So until then, bye for now. Cheers!
And
Okay, just a little wee update for you. We are back in the marina, and we have been in the marina for about an hour and a half now, and holy... oh my goodness, it is wild out there, by the way, now. I mean, it is like properly wild. We're talking, the wind has picked up, the rain is just like sort of like torrential, I'll say, at the moment, and because of the wind it's really driving it, and it's like, oh goodness gracious me. So yeah, it's got wild. We are trying to pack up the car and sort of fix up the boat, but to tell you the truth, in this weather, it's there's only so much I can do, if I'm honest, you know. I can't mop out the outside. It would be a good time to mop out the outside, and because it's all so wet. I gave it a wee mop at Sutton, so most of the boat is sort of clean, but it definitely needs another going over. But like I say, the rain's so heavy, the wind's so strong, you know, I would actually be in danger of slipping, you know. Yeah, it's truly miserable, it really is. But most of the car is packed up. We're still in the, I mean, I don't know if you can see this, we're still in the process of cleaning. Poor wee Rachel, she got absolutely soaked earlier on, so she's curried up back under the duvet just now, just getting some heat on, because I didn't know if we were going to be staying here then leaving. I didn't put any heaters on or anything like that, so I didn't hook up to the electricity. So yeah, while we've been doing stuff, it's not been a problem. But now we're sort of stopped and sort of trying to figure out what we're doing for the rest of the day. The boat's getting quite chilly, so on with the boat heaters. So sorry about the noise on the microphone if that's what you're hearing. But yeah, I still, like I said, there's still quite a number of things to do to get the boat ready for tomorrow. But we've had a wee talk, and what we're thinking is we're actually going to stay in the marina tonight. One of the plans that I had was we'll get the boat ready, so to speak, and then we'll leave the marina and we'll go up to the free moorings at the Swan. You know, this would be a perfect time to do that, and have a nice meal in the Swan, stay there on the electric post, and then basically on the way back down to the marina tomorrow morning, which will only take about half an hour tops, we can then do you hear that? Do you hear that? That's the wind! That's the wind that's actually blowing, gusting, you know? Even the marina is starting to get a bit choppy. Sorry. But yeah, and then obviously coming back down tomorrow morning, we would leave the Swan, come back down. It would only take about half an hour tops, you know, probably only about 20 minutes. And on the way back down, we can pass the wee boatyard out beside the new inn, decide if we're just going to go there for a pump out, or a wee bit further down by the we'll call it by the ferry inn. Okay, it's a wee bit past that, but there's a wee dyke in there, and you go up there, and that's where you find Bolters. Bolters is a great wee place. It's one of the cheapest places on the Broads for diesel, but it's a bitch getting into, you know, and especially in a boat this size, and if this wind does not ease, oh Christ, we're doing some rocking now, baby. Oh, we are rocking. Oh yeah. If this wind does not ease, it is going to be an absolute nightmare trying to get in at Bolters. So yeah, and of course if we stayed on the river with the wind direction, we're literally going to be battered by the wind for as long as it holds. So we've decided we're going to spend the night here in the marina, what we will do is, depending on the weather later, we will either walk to the ferry inn, you know, and get a little bit wet, but that will mean that we will enjoy a pint and a hot chocolate so much more better. Or we might get a Chinese takeaway delivered. I'm saying delivered, you know. I don't know if they will actually deliver to the boat. I'm pretty sure they will. I'm sure a takeaway that is surrounded by so many private boats and so many marinas will know exactly. Will be used to somebody phoning them up to say, can you deliver to the Thunderboat in the, you know, in said marina. So I'm sure they'll be used to that. But if they don't, you know, theoretically, if I don't drink, I can just jump in the car, go up and pick it up, you know. My God!
And I'm man.
That's the rain as well. I mean, it's, I don't know if you can hear it over the noise of the heater just now, but oh, that is battering the boat, you know. But yes, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to stay in the marina tonight. We don't know if we're going to stay nice, warm and toasty and get a Chinese delivery, or if we're going to brave the elements and go for a pint and pizza, so to speak, at the ferry inn for dinner tonight. And then what we'll do tomorrow is we'll finish up we'll get up quite sharp, so it's an early night tonight. We'll get up quite sharp, load everything back in the car, that's you know, all the bedding and everything like that, rip that off, shove it in the car, and then it will be a case of leaving the marina in the morning and going to then deciding if we want to go to Bolters or if we want to go to that other place that I've not actually been to yet, by the new inn. So yeah, it's and then we'll get pumped out. I'll probably brave the weather and top up my water just now. I might do that in the morning though. It might just be easier in the morning. I think the rain's supposed to come on. It's supposed to ease off later, and then come back on tomorrow morning about the time that we want to go to Bolters. So, but it's honestly, the wind is howling. The rain is just like battering against the boat. So yeah, I might just leave the topping of the water tanks to tomorrow, you know, yeah, I'll probably regret that in the morning, you know, but it might be better to do that. So yeah, that's what we're planning on doing tomorrow. So this essentially is the end of day 7 of the Great Norfolk Broads Adventure 11. I had hoped to, well, like I said earlier, is that I was thinking of doing a wee bit more, do you know, like cruise back up to the Swan, but the wind is just, and the weather and the rain is just really, yeah, you know. And I'm actually messaging. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember. A few days ago, Stephen and Kate that we met in the Lion, and then when we were joined by Robin, this is their last night as well. They have to go back to Herbert Woods. So they are currently down at Ranworth, which is just basically down round the corner, and they're thinking about coming up to Horning. and it would be great to meet up with them again for a pint of pizza, but in this weather, you know, they should be quite sheltered in Vanworth if they're down the side dike. So yeah, I don't expect them to, you know, I would expect that, I mean, if it was me, I would be like, no, I'm staying here. I mean, that's actually starting to hail, sleet. So yeah, if they thought about coming up to Horning, to the Ferry Inn, but yeah, I'm just thinking in this weather they'd probably be better off staying where they are. So I don't think we're going to be meeting up with them tonight, which is a bit of a shame, because I would have liked to have seen them again for a wee pint and a catch up. You know, see how their holiday actually was. So yeah. But in short, we'll just wait and see, you know. What I'm going to do though is that I'm actually not going to pack away the camera, you know, or any of the GoPros at the moment. I'm going to leave them out, because what I will do is it'll only be like half an hour tops, you know. But it might be an interesting wee side thing, you know. I don't know if I'll be able to get the cameras, you know, put anywhere decent, so to speak. And once again, it all depends on where we go and the weather and what it's like and everything like that. But I think I'm gonna leave the cameras out, and maybe just, if nothing else, just show you the journey into Bolters a wee bit better than I have to date, if I go to Bolters. Yeah, and then just maybe say a few words tomorrow, and then just sort of panic stations and pack everything up, you know. So yeah, it's I'll leave the cameras out, and then I'll maybe do a wee sort of thing tomorrow. But in the meantime, this is definitely the end of day 7. In this weather, we're not going anywhere, you know. I think on Sunday was the windiest day, but it was actually relatively dry. This is definitely turning into be the worst weather day, which is probably, you know, it's probably that storm that's coming this way. I don't know what it's called, Storm Jezebel or something like that. I got a weather warning about a storm or something like that, so apparently that's hitting this weekend. So if there is a storm coming this way, this is probably it arriving, or at least the start of it. So yeah, if it is a storm, oh yeah, let's just not go anywhere. Stay in the marina, stay warm, and just relax for the rest of the day, and then deal with all the stuff that we don't want to deal with because the weather's so miserable today. Tomorrow, in the weather that we don't want to be dealing with it tomorrow because the weather's so miserable, but we need to deal with it tomorrow because we can't deal with it today. Yeah. So yeah, like I say, this is the end of day 7. I hope you've enjoyed today. It was definitely a lovely cruise down the River Anne, right up until about, what was it, literally right up until London Bridge, wasn't it? And then we had a few spots, and the spots got a wee bit more, and I pulled the side camera in because that's not waterproof. And then after that, it's just gone downhill, and it's gone downhill quite quickly, you know. So I'm actually glad we got into the marina when we did, because yeah, that's pretty wild out there now, definitely, you know. It's getting really quite dull. So yeah. So basically, yeah, that's it. End of day 7. I've said that many times, and I'll probably say that maybe once or twice again. But yeah, this is the end of day 7, and I will see you tomorrow, very briefly, for a very brief wee jaunt about the place. On day 8, You know, I've not done a day 8 for a wee while, and it's not often you probably will get a day 8. But yeah, we'll go for a wee jaunt tomorrow to Bolters, top up the empty the tank, come back to the marina, and that will be the end of another great adventure. But we will talk about that tomorrow, okay? I'm not going to talk about it now, okay? So we'll talk about that tomorrow. So I don't think I will be back. I'm not planning on going dark side tonight because I'm driving tomorrow morning. So yeah, and because of like Chinese takeaways opening up, or the Ferry Inn doing the evening dinner menu isn't till 5 o'clock. You know, it's not like I can go out just now and have a wee sort of thing, go dark side just now and then sober up for tomorrow. So no, I'm not going dark side tonight. But yeah, I'm talking so much rubbish just now. Have you noticed that? I am just absolutely rambling. Right, okay, I'm gonna go for definite this time. I hope you have enjoyed today. It was a lovely start to the cruise. It's just such a shame that the weather's turned and got to be probably the single worst day weather-wise. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Hope you've enjoyed it. I will talk to you very briefly tomorrow, and yeah, I'll take you with me to top up my tanks, to pump out my tanks. You know, isn't that wonderful? You know, come with me, you know, while I go and pump out all my shit. You really want to see that stuff, huh? Come on, come with me, you know. So yeah, that's going to be fun and games if this wind does not die down, and it's going to be very wet and miserable if the rain does not die down. But I'll take you with me anyway, as best as I can, okay? So until tomorrow, thanks for watching today. Hope you've enjoyed it. I've had a great time up until this kicked off. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow. So until tomorrow, speak to you soon. Bye for now. Cheers.
In my heart, child is young, adai giriyan, Yahweh yan.
All the voices whence came the moon and sun.
Like the sunrise, like a rainfall down my soul. And I wonder why you look at me like that. What you thinking, what's behind? Don't tell me, but it feels like love. I'm gonna take this moment and make it last forever. I'm gonna give my heart away and pray we'll stay together. 'Cause you're the one good reason, you're the only boy that I need. 'Cause you're more beautiful than I have ever seen. I'm gonna take this night and make it evergreen. Touch like an angel, like a velvet to my skin. And I wonder why you wanna stay the night. What you dreaming, what's behind? Don't tell me, but it feels like love. I'm gonna take this moment and make it last forever. I'm gonna give my heart away and pray we'll stay together. 'Cause you're the one good reason, you're the only boy that I need. 'Cause you're more beautiful than I have ever seen. I'm gonna take this night and make it evergreen. We can make it I'm gonna take this moment and make it last forever. I'm gonna give my heart away and pray we'll stay together. 'Cause you're the one good reason, and you're the only boy that I need. 'Cause you're more beautiful than I have ever seen. I'm gonna take this moment, make it last forever. I'm gonna give my heart away and pray we'll stay together. 'Cause you're the one good reason, and you're the only boy that I need. 'Cause you're more beautiful than I have ever seen. I'm gonna take this night, make it evergreen, and make it evergreen.
Good morning, how are we doing? Welcome to the, okay, right, we're definitely testing the wind capabilities of this new microphone. I am in at Bolters. I know I've not been around this morning, this is just going to go in the tail end of day 7, but basically it was up at 6:30, finish tidying up the boat a bit, finish a wee bit more packing, loading up of the car, get a coffee, straight into Bolters, you know. And when I met Mick and Jackie, I was a wee bit worried because the wind really picked up again this morning, and I know what that crosswind trying to get into Bolters is like. It's a nightmare, you know, and I've ballsed it up every single time. But when I met Mick and Jackie on Saturday, who have Goosander, they told me of a wee trick, and basically it's when you come up the dike, you don't try and get into Bolters straight away. You go up to the dike and you turn just a wee bit further, just by the boatyard. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep out way of the boys doing their business. You turn at the boatyard and then you come back down, and then you try and get into Bolters. And I must admit, maybe it was just the direction of the wind, I don't know, but it was so easy. I actually managed it, no problems. First time, not an issue, no drifting, anything like that. I took a wee bit of footage, just me leaving the marina, coming here, and I'll take some footage going back. But yeah, that is for so you know you'll get to see a little bit about what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, it's like straight in here, no problems. So yeah, and then it's just back to the marina, and then finish up the very last of the packing, and yeah. So that's it. So it's just a quick wee update this morning, and I'll keep you updated on the events of the day, which, let's face it, is not going to be much because it's just going to be back to the marina. But I'll have a wee chat with you back to the marina before I pack up the adventure properly. But yeah, that's it. So getting all pumped out, getting fueled up, and I always hate this bit. Because this is the final sort of significant sort of, yep, adventure's definitely ending. Ah well. Anyway, I'll go for now, and I'll speak to you again back at the marina. So until later, bye for now. Cheers! Okay, that's it. That is it. Back in the marina, all tied up, pumped out, topped up, fueled up, and engine is off. And just that final turn of the engine and the wee sort of the slight shudder through the hull as the engine dies signifies the end of another great adventure. And in its own right, I've got to admit, this has been a great adventure. I've not really gone anywhere extravagant. We've not really done much amazing stuff. But the wind and the cold and the rain, you know, has made it an adventure in itself. You know, it's been at times quite challenging. At times, especially on the mooring rings of Achill and Thorndyke, I've been very grateful for my guest here. Wait for the camera. Rachel. Yes, it's always that sad moment, isn't it? But unfortunately, we have to vacate Thunder for the next people who are coming on board, and hopefully, despite the weather, they will enjoy a week on her as much as I have. Yeah, just as this is essentially the last farewell, I would like to say once again a huge thanks to Rachel for everything that she has done over the last 6 years. Without her so willingly taking the cats and looking after my boys for me, without thought of reward or recognition or anything like that, you know, she really has allowed me to have all these adventures, and I honestly could not have done any of this to the extent that I have if it had not been for her. So yeah, this has been a huge monumental thank you to Rachel for everything that she's done over the last 6 years. I hope she's enjoyed it. I hope she's had a great time. I hope she's sort of understands a bit about what boating means to me. I hope that she sees some of the behind the scenes and just realises that behind the scenes I'm actually quite quiet and, you know, well, I'm not as bad as what I can be on camera sometimes. But yeah, I hope she's had a fantastic time, and yeah, maybe again in another 5 or 6 years when she deserves another thank you, hopefully. Hopefully, she will want to come away again. Do you want to come away again?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, you don't know about that?
Oh,
is that
no.
terrible choice?
No, I would actually. It's quite. It's actually good. It's nice.
Nice, peaceful, and relaxing.
Yes.
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 Okay.
But you're snoring. No, I'm only joking.
Apparently, apparently there are some evenings when, if I've had quite a copious amount of beer, you can hear my snoring from the other end of the boat. So I've been told. You know, she's probably winding me up, but you know, who knows?
I am winding up.
Oh, you are winding me up. Oh, I'm quite grateful for that, actually. I hate to think of, you know. But yeah. But yeah, that is it. All that's left to do now is pack away the life jackets, pack away the GoPros. I've got a little paperwork to fill in, which every syndicate owner usually has to do, just for the boat yard. And yeah, then it's into the car, set the sat nav, and away back to reality. Fun. I'm so happy about going back home to reality. But I do get to see my cats, so yeah, that's always a good plus, because I have missed them a wee bit, you know. So yeah, so that is it, the end of another great adventure, and all that's left to do now is basically go back home, get back to reality, get back to work my little rear end off, and save as much money as possible for the Great Norfolk Bros Adventure 12, which happens in April. So it's like, wow, you know. Yeah, so I've got 3 adventures very quickly, one after the other, bang 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 bang, and then nothing for months. That's going to be hard. That is going to be really hard, you know. But it's just the way the luck of the draw has gone this year, you know. So yeah, well, yeah, I will be back, and I'm looking forward to getting back. Hopefully the wind will be a little calmer. Hopefully the rain will be a little less, and hopefully the temperatures will be a little warmer, you know. Having said that, last time I came in April, it was Baltic, and I mean absolutely, properly Baltic, the coldest ever. So compared to April, although it's been chilly, it's not been that cold, you know. So yeah, we shall wait and see what April has in store for us this year. In the meantime, I'm rambling. I need to get my myself in gear. I've got lots to do yeah, before I set the sat nav. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. I know it's not been a lot's been going on, you know. There's not really been any dark sides or anything like that, but I hope you've enjoyed it. Oh, I think there was 2. Was there no 1 or 2? No, 2. But I hope you've enjoyed it nonetheless, and just enjoyed the great time on the rivers that I have enjoyed. So until later, you know. Hopefully, speaking of which, hopefully, when I get back and start editing, this microphone and new camera will work wonderfully, and it'll look great and it'll sound great. I suspect that because I had a, you know, I don't know if I can show you that shelf there on the right hand side. That's where I had the camera, you know, but it's quite tall, and it was up, the microphone was up near the roof, and I suspect that although the engine isn't loud, that sympathetic acoustic vibration might have actually been picked up by the camera quite badly on that corner. That's over there, don't know, can you see that? That's usually where I put the camera, but it was a bit of a pain in the neck setting it up there to begin with. So I'm not entirely sure how it's gonna go. I'll need to wait till I get back on editing, but yeah, if the sound is awful on when I get it back on a computer, I will see about changing position on the next adventure, and we'll try that, you know. It's all a learning curve, it's all a learning experience, you know, but I don't really know properly until I get them on the computer and I start the editing process. But anyway, enough. Hopefully it's been a great time. I've had a fantastic time. Weather's been a bit crap, you know, but you know, it's British weather, you know. Sometimes it's the luck of the draw. Sometimes you're good with it, sometimes you're bad with it. You just sort of take it in its stride. But yeah, I hope you've had I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm gonna go away, pack up all the cameras, and I will see you again in April for the Adventure 12. So until then, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Cheers!